Baik, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat pagi kepada semua peserta, murid-murid dan guru-guru seluruh negara. Okey, diucapkan agar anda semua berada dalam keadaan yang sejahtera, sihat, ya. Dan bagi yang Muslim diucapkan selamat berpuasa. Kita hampir ke fasa pertengahan sekarang di fasa pertengahan bulan Ramadan. Baik, saya Cikgu Adilah Mitu Habzahari daripada SMKA Sultan Azlan Shah Bota Perak. Okey, adalah moderator anda pada pagi ini di live classroom at Edidik Anjuran Edidik Negeri Perak dengan kerjasama Edidik Malaysia. Okey, pada pagi ini kita meneruskan sesi pembelajaran Bahasa Inggeris untuk sekolah menengah yang bertajuk Write It Right untuk summary. Okey, kita jemput khas pada pagi ini Cikgu Hazwan bin Hamdan daripada SMKA Sultan Azlan Shah Bota Perak untuk menyampaikan perkongsian beliau. Baik, tanpa membuang masa, saya dengan segala hormatnya menjemput Cikgu Hazwan untuk meneruskan sesi pada pagi ini. Silakan.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very pleasant morning. I just hope that the slide is being shared by Cikgu Adilah. So, hello everyone. Welcome to our class for today. Today we are going to focus on summary, actually, okay, writing summary. However, we are going to look into a few aspects of summary which is very basic. So I hope that you can stay put with me throughout this 1 hour session. And we hope that you actively participate during this 1 hour online session. So I just want to know how many of us are here today, because I cannot see how many of us, but basically. But I hope that many people are here right now in this online session. Okay, just want to say maybe you can just write something. Maybe we can just start by looking at, okay, myself. This is all about myself. I am Cikgu Hazwan from SMKA Sultan Azlan Shah. Obviously, I'm an English teacher. You can find me at Facebook at Hazwan HN, or you can search for me at Instagram, Hazwan_HN, where we can share things together and so on and so forth throughout this 1 hour session. Okay, so as for today, I just hope that you can respond to this either in YouTube or in on Facebook chat. Just say hi to everyone over here. Just state your name, your location, so that we can know where are you from. So you can know where you are from today, because if not mistaken, there are 20 right now. So I do hope that throughout the session, throughout this 1 hour session, we can get to know each other, and then just go to basic summary writing. Okay, we are not shadow says there, saya budak Azlan, so good. So hello Shuko, yeah. So we are going to look at the basic summary writing. Hi budak gombak, good. Okay. We are going to look at basic summary writing, meaning to say that we are not focusing only on SPM paper format, we are going back to the really basic way of writing summary. Okay, so keep on writing. Where are you from? We're going to have this 1 minute more before we move on to the next slide. Okay, so I can see that there are a few from Azlan. Oh, good, from Kuching, Sarawak. Hi, from Kuching, Sarawak. Okay, that's wonderful. Who else we have today? Ah, Wana from Perak. Good. Okay. Hi, sir, from Ipoh. Good, good. Okay. Okay. I think let's move on to our next slide. Our next slide is what makes you attend this class today? Okay. Why are you here? Basically, this is an ice-breaking question. So, what makes you attend this class today? You can just write in the comment or in the YouTube chat. Okay, why are you here today? Because in this 1 hour session, maybe one of you or two of you have different questions to ask, but we are focusing on basic summary writing. So regardless whether you are Form 5 students, Form 4 or Form 3 students, we are going back to the basic thing about writing summary. Okay. So wonderful. We have a lot of participants today from all over Malaysia. We have from Kuala Lumpur, we have from Gombak, from Sarawak, from Butterworth, Penang, and so on. Okay. So I do hope that we can see some responses on what makes you attend this class today. Okay. So I'm waiting for some responses on what makes you come or attend this class today. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so today we are actually focusing on summary writing. So the title for our class today is Write It Right, Summary Writing. So the lesson objective for today, at the end of the lesson, participants will be able to identify the importance of summary writing skills and identify main points in a passage. So we are not looking only into writing summary for SPM paper or for Form 5, Form 4, Form 3. This is for everyone. Why you need to write summary? Why you need to learn on how to write summary? Okay, because I can see that some of our participants today are also teachers. So I do hope that we can share after this what are the things that you have learned from this 1 hour session. Okay, so two objectives for today: identify importance of summary writing skills and identify main points in a passage. Okay, moving on, let's take a look. Why summary writing? Okay, why summary writing? Why today we focus on summary writing? Why not other aspects of writing? Okay. So imagine that you are reading an article in a newspaper and you want to share what you have read with a friend. What do you share? So imagine you are reading a newspaper, an article in a newspaper, or maybe a novel, or maybe a short story, okay, that you have recently read, and you want to share that with your friend, or with your teacher, or your peers, or with your parents. What do you share? Okay, you can answer in comments or chat. Are you going to tell everything from A to Z, or you're going to take some important points? Yeah, maybe 2 minutes for this, for all of you to respond. What do you do after you have read an article in newspaper, and then you decided to share with what you have read with a friend? What do you share? You can just write your answers in the comments or in the chat below. Good. Okay, you can see that you write main point. Okay. Conclusion of what you have read. Okay, good. So you can see that one response says important point. Okay, good. Important point. Conclusion that we have read. Okay, what else? Information. Yeah, good. It's a question mark. Okay, wonderful. The introduction and the closure point. The introduction and the closure point. So something in the middle you left out. Okay, I would summarize the content. Good. You are going to summarize the content. Good. Important points and conclusion. Okay. So some of you say that we are going to share the conclusion. Okay, we are going to summarize the points. We are going to tell our friends or our partners the introduction part and the closure part, the relevant points. Wonderful, thank you. Okay, relevant points also important to be shared. We are not going to share irrelevant points, especially when we want to tell our friends about the recent movie that we have watched, for example. Okay. So good responses. We can see that you are giving a lot of good responses, crucial or interesting information. Good. Okay. So thank you for the responses. Let's moving on. So basically, there are a lot of benefits of summary writing. I listed down here 4 benefits of summary writing. The first one is to help readers identify the important points in the text. Sorry, the redundant of the word "the" over there. Help readers ignore irrelevant information. So when you read, you identify there are irrelevant information, you are going to omit that out. Integrate the central ideas in a meaningful way, meaning to say that you are going to utilize all these ideas and make sure that it is conveyed correctly. And teach readers how to take a large selection of text and reduce it to the main points for more concise understanding. So this is very important. Okay, these are some of the benefits of summary writing that I've listed down here. 4 benefits of summary writing. The fourth one is very important because it teaches readers how to take a large selection of text and reduce it to the main points for more concise understanding. Meaning to say that, in simple word, we can say that if you have 100 words of essay, we want to uh, cut it down or bog it down into maybe 10 words or 20 words. So we are going to summarize this paragraph so that it gives us better understanding. Okay. So now let's wear your thinking helmet. Maybe uh, it is the first time you have heard of the word summary. Maybe you have been working on this summary thing for over the years, maybe over and over again, maybe in your academic reading and so on. So today, let's wear your thinking helmet for a while and answer this question: what are the examples of summaries? So for students in Malaysia, you know that summary is the question that you're going to answer in your SPM. For those who sat for PMR those days, we know summary also exists in PMR question, but not in PT3 questions. So we know 2 kind of summary, but actually there are a lot of summaries. Okay, there are many type of summaries, and I'm going to share with you some example of the summaries. But before that, I want to know how many of you notice that there are other types of summaries exist. You can write your responses in comments and chat so we can see. There's no right or wrong answer. I just want to look at how you respond to it. Maybe you want to say that, oh, my movie review can be a summary, or it might be a respond to news. Okay, so there are many type of summaries. I just want to know what are other type of summaries that you know. Okay, music review. Okay, good. You can see that some responses over there coming in. Okay, well, other examples of summary: a story, news, and magazines. Okay, good. Trailer, movie trailer. Okay, cool. Review, for example, book review. Okay, good. Summary from a novel that I have read. Okay, wonderful. Opinion. Okay, okay, opinion. A synopsis of the story. Okay, so we have a lot of answers right now. You have a synopsis of stories, you have a book review, you have a trailer, and so on. Okay, so some examples of summaries that you can see, okay, over here that I'm sharing with you. As simple as newspaper headlines can be considered as a summary, okay, because the newspaper headlines summarize the whole story. For example, one newspaper headline that I took as an example over here is "Make Remote Learning a Norm." This appeared in the Star, May 10, 2020. So if you read, if you read these newspaper headlines, "Make Remote Learning a Norm," we can predict or make assumption of what the news is or is written about. Okay, because the title summarize the whole story. Another example of summary is blog post titles, same like newspaper headlines, but usually we are going to be trapped or caught. Our attention will be caught by the title that's very catchy. For example, make your DIY book in 3 easy steps. We know that straight away, we know that from the title that the post is going to talk about how to create your book or a do-it-yourself book in just 3 easy steps. Another example of summary is description of movies. Okay, description of movies and movie reviews are two different things, because when you say it is a description of movies, you are telling your readers what the movie is about. Meanwhile, if you are talking about movie reviews, you are telling your readers about the movie that you have watched, and at the same time including your own opinion towards the movie. Okay, so there are two different things. If you say that description of movies, yes, it summarizes the whole movie without any intervention of personal opinion towards the movie. Meanwhile, if you say the movie reviews, you include as well your opinion, which is slightly uh, not right if we want to say that it is a summary. Because summary, you must take something directly from what you have read or what you have watched. Okay. And then for those book lovers, bookworms, if you want to buy a book, you are going to turn the book. You are going to look at the back side or back cover of the book, and you're going to read the summary of the book, or maybe some excerpts from the book. Okay, so these are some of the example of summaries that we know. okay, or I can share with you. Maybe there are a lot of other summaries like what our friends just now has have mentioned. Okay, you have movie review, maybe song review. Yeah, not many people like to do review on songs, but song reviews can be considered as summary because you are telling people what the song is all about. Okay, so good. We get a lot of responses right now. Okay, let's moving on. So what is summary actually? So summary is to summarize, which means make something shorter, includes the facts just like a reporter. Okay. So if you can see that this is a very charming reporter, Mr. Clark Kent, who's also a Superman. Okay. So summarize means make a news or a report or an article or a passage shorter, includes the facts just like a reporter. Okay, because you know that when a reporter is reporting a news, they will make sure that the report is precise, concise, and very short and sweet. Okay, so that's what Clark Kent likes to do. Okay, let's moving on. Uh, One of the key component, like what we have mentioned earlier, the objective of this lesson is to identify important points. Okay, so let's take a look at this short paragraph. Okay, we are going to do this together. I'm not going to leave you alone without any guidance. Okay, so you're going to identify important points based on this passage, short passage. Okay, I'm going to read this for you. The newspaper is an extremely useful learning tool to students today. Besides being easily available and affordable, it offers them numerous benefits. Okay, I'm not going to ask you to summarize this passage yet. I just want to guide you on how to identify the important points. Okay, so let's take a look at this passage. Okay, these two sentences, short paragraph. The newspaper is an extremely useful learning tool to students today. Besides being easily available and affordable, it offers them numerous benefits. So let's identify the important points. Where are the important points? Okay. So I've highlighted or I've changed the color of the first sentence. The newspaper is an extremely useful learning tool to students today. So what can you say about the first sentence? Okay. What can you say about the first sentence? Is this a point, an explanation? Is this an example? Or is this just a mere statement? Okay. Okay. Moving on the second sentence, we can see that, okay, besides being easily available and affordable, it offers them numerous benefits. What can you say about the second sentence? Just now, the first sentence, you have the newspaper is an extremely useful learning tool to students today. And then you have the second sentence, besides being easily available and affordable, it offers them numerous benefits. So what can you say about these two sentences? Which one do you think is the important point? Again, as I said earlier, we are not going to summarize the whole thing straight away. We are going to identify important points first, because that's the first step, identifying the important points. Okay, so in the first sentence, it mentions about newspaper being a useful tool for students. That means that is the important point. And on the second sentence, we consider that as the unnecessary details. It's not unimportant. It's okay. It's just unnecessary details for the sake of summary writing. Okay, means that if you leave out that part, the sentence still stand. The contents still can be understandable. Okay, means that you can still understand that without the second sentence, without the second part of the paragraph just now, you can still understand that newspaper is extremely useful learning tool to students today. Okay, so wonderful. Okay. So now we can see that the newspaper is an extremely useful learning tool to students today. I put a bracket important. So that's the important point. Besides being valuable and affordable, it offers them numerous benefits. That's unnecessary because it doesn't mention any benefit yet. It just telling you that there are some benefits. Okay. So we can leave that out actually. Okay. So this is our first task, important, identify important points. Let's take a look at our second example. Okay. Once outside the classroom, students can use the newspaper to be a continuous source of information. For example, it can be used to obtain reference material or ideas for their school assignments. So basically for this paragraph, we also want to see, we want to identify the important points. So you can see where are the important points in this short paragraph. Once outside the classroom, students can use the newspaper to be a continuous source of information. For example, it can be used to obtain reference material or ideas for their school assignments. Okay, so what's your opinion about this sentence, the first part of the paragraph? Once outside the classroom, students can use the newspaper to be a continuous source of information. Okay, so is this an important point, or this is just unnecessary details? Okay, what about the second part of this paragraph? For example, it can be used to obtain reference material or ideas for their school assignments. What is your opinion about this sentence or this second part of the paragraph? So you have the first part and the second part. Okay. So if you can see that, okay, the word for example, I highlighted or I changed the color into purple. For example, okay, it can be used to obtain reference material or ideas for their school assignments. So that part actually is an example explaining how the students can use the newspaper to be a continuous source of information. So like what we mentioned earlier, we are looking at the important points, not unnecessary details or example. Okay, so the first sentence mentioned about students can use the newspaper as a continuous source of information. And in the second sentence, it's just an example of how students can use the newspaper as continuous source of information. And one thing when we do summary writing, example sometimes should be omitted from the summary. Wonderful. Another 100% total success. Okay, let's take a break for a while. Wear your thinking helmet again. I have a riddle for you. What occurs once in a minute, twice in a moment, and never in 1,000 years? Okay, just wear your thinking helmet. I know those who are fasting today, you might think that you might need to use your brain, utilize your brain. Okay, write down your responses in comments or chat below. You can see, you want to see your answers. It's a riddle, simple riddle for you, just to test your brain while you are doing your work. What occurs once in a minute, twice in a moment, and never in 1,000 years? Perhaps we can see some answers right now. The letter M. Wonderful. So we have a winner. Give yourself a big round of applause, okay, for being able to answer the question. Okay, so the answer is the letter M. Good job. What occurs once in a minute, twice in a moment, and never in 1,000 years? Okay, so M also is a logo for McDonald's. So if you wish to grab McDonald's for your lunch or for your fast breaking food today, okay, during your fast breaking ceremony, can go to nearby McDonald's or can just order from Mac delivery. Okay, good job, everyone. So in short, what we can say today is that important points: focus on the topic or the subject area. Meanwhile, supporting details, okay, we accept some relevant details, okay, not all details, but some relevant ones. And for unnecessary details, for example, examples, descriptions, and repetitions, we are going to omit that from our summary. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, this is not just for SPM, this is for life because you might need summary writing skills when attending a meeting. You're not going to annotate each and every word mentioned by your superior. Okay. When you are listening to your teacher, you are going to summarize what he or she is teaching you. When you are listening to the speech by our Prime Minister on COVID-19, for example, we are going to see some people sending the short message or the forwarded messages about what is being said by our Prime Minister. So those are actually summary. We need this skill, the summary writing skill, not only for examination, but for our life actually. Okay, after we have read a news in Facebook, for example, we are going to summarize by writing a shorter version of the news, and then somebody else read our shorter version and make another summary of what he or she has read. So actually, summary writing skill is very important. Okay, but because we are living in this environment where examination comes first, we forgot that uh, summary writing is actually another skill required for our future. Okay, enough with that. So let's have a pop quiz. When writing a summary, we need to leave out, okay, we need to omit what? So this question is actually based on what we have presented earlier. So when writing a summary, we need to leave out what? Relevant supporting details, unnecessary details, examples, repetitions. So A, all of the above. We have to leave out all of the above. Or B, 1, 2, and 3. Or C, 2, 3, and 4. Write your answers in the comments below. So when writing a summary, okay, I repeat the question. When writing a summary, we need to leave out relevant supporting details, 2, unnecessary details, 3, examples, and 4, repetitions. Okay, wonderful. We are getting responses. Okay, good. Okay, wonderful. Okay, wonderful. So the answer is C, because we have to leave out unnecessary details, examples, and repetitions, and we have to include relevant supporting details. Okay. Okay, now time for action. We are going to have some exercises. Okay, so you need to be ready because we are going to do this 2 short exercises. Okay, maybe 2, I guess 2. Yeah. Throughout this session, if you have questions to ask, if you want to ask questions, you can just write the questions in the comments below or in your YouTube live. if you have questions regarding summary, because this is just the beginning of our session. This is the part one, just to put everybody into the same cocoon that we are writing summary. We are focusing on summary writing so that everybody has the same idea that this is summary writing. The summary writing and paraphrasing are two different things. There is a very thin line that separates summarizing and paraphrasing. So for examination purpose in Malaysia, we are focusing on summary. Okay, so just to make sure that everybody are sitting in the same comfortable cocoon about how to write summary. Okay, so just now let's wear your thinking helmet again. You're going to do some exercises. I'm not going to ask you to do pumping or burpee or slow jog in your own comfortable room right now. We are going to just analyze one or two exercises before we can conclude the session. Okay, just to recap what we have learned just now, that important points focus on the topic or subject area. Supporting details, we are going to accept only relevant ones, and unnecessary details, we are going to omit those unnecessary details. Okay, if you see the word examples or we see descriptive words and repetitions, so those are the things that we are going to omit from our summary. Okay, wonderful. So this is a short paragraph, a very short paragraph. Okay, I'm not going to limit the number of words. You can try to summarize this. Okay, mother is a great cook. She can cook chicken rice, curry mee, and nyonya cakes. Okay, I know some of you are hungry right now, but I have to use these sentences to make everybody feel excited about it, because we are going to talk about food. So people love food, especially Malaysian. We love food. So she can cook chicken curry, chicken rice, curry mee, and nyonya cakes. She plans to start a small business of her own and hire restaurant helpers to work with her every day. Okay. So just now we have learned about identifying important points. Okay. So the first task just now, we identify points. So the second part just we are going to do now is identify important points and at the same time omit unnecessary details and identify supporting details. Which one should be included? Which one should be omitted from the text? Okay, take a look at this for 1 minute. Okay, I'm going to read to you again. Mother is a great cook. She can cook chicken rice, curry mee, and nyonya cakes. She plans to start a small business of her own and hire restaurant helpers to work with her every day. Okay. Okay, worry not. I'm going to guide you. You don't have to write the answers right now on the comment sections. Okay, it's going to uh, create a traffic jam over there. So we are going to do this one by one, step by step. The first one, you're going to look at sentence by sentence. Okay, because this is learning process. So we're going to look at sentence to sentence. Okay, from sentence to another sentence. Okay. So the first sentence is mother is a great cook. So that is our important point. Okay, mother is a great cook. Nothing else. We cannot just remove any word. Okay, because if you say that mother is a cook, it can be any cook, but mother is a great cook is the important point over there. Okay, and then we have the next sentence, which is she can cook chicken rice, curry mee, and nyonya cakes. Okay, so I changed the color into purple, so you can see that chicken rice, curry mee, and nyonya cakes over there, highlighted in purple. And I wrote at the end examples, meaning to say that those three food are just examples. So remember, examples are unnecessary details. But we are not going to do anything yet. We just leave that example there so we can see that the process of changing this paragraph into a shorter version. Remember Clark Kent just now? Okay, we are going to be a reporter. We are going to make this paragraph shorter. Okay. So next sentence is she plans to start a small business of her own and hire restaurant helpers to work with her every day. So what happened to this sentence? What's your opinion about this sentence? She plans to start a small business. Okay, that is another point. It's another important point because she planned to start a small business and hire restaurant helpers to work with her every day. Okay, so the one that I highlighted with red are important points, and the remaining in black are just, we can just leave that out. Okay, because she planned to start a small business. Without the use of phrase of her own, you can understand that the business belonged to her because she is the one who plans to start a small business. Hire restaurant helpers to work with her every day. If you just remove the word every day or the phrase every day from the sentence still stands. Hire restaurant helpers to work with her. Okay. So to summarize this, mother is a great cook. She can cook many dishes. Okay, instead of mentioning all the chicken rice, curry mee, and nyonya cakes. Okay, so chicken rice, curry mee, and nyonya cakes, there are 7 words, but then we change to many dishes. Okay, so we broke down into only 2 words. She can cook many dishes. And then we have she planned to start a small business. That's the important point. And hire restaurant helpers to work with her. Okay. So this is the summary for exercise number 1. Okay. Okay. Besides that, if we look into the word she can, the sentence she can cook many dishes, actually that is a description. Okay. Description of what? Description of being a great cook. Without that sentence, the previous sentence, which is mother is a great cook, still stand. So actually, she can cook many dishes, describe how great mother is. So actually, you can omit that part as well to reduce the number of sentence. Mother is a great cook. She planned to start a small business and hire restaurant helpers to work with her. Okay, are we done yet? I don't think so. Okay, actually, if you look into the phrase to work with her, is actually the description to restaurant helpers. You have mentioned earlier in the same sentence, hire restaurant helpers. Obviously, when you hire restaurant helpers, the restaurant helpers will be working with you. So that's actually another description of the task by restaurant helpers. So you can leave that out also. You can leave that out as well. So instead of having longer or long paragraphs now, we can shorten our sentence. We can shorten our paragraph into mother is a great cook. She plans to start a small business and hire restaurant helpers. So that sentence or this paragraph still stand because we can still understand that mother is a great cook and the action of cooking all those dishes are actually describing how great she is. She planned to start a small business. We leave out the word of her own because obviously she is the one to start the small business. Hire restaurant helpers. We omit the part to work with her because that is actually describing how the restaurant helpers will perform their job. Okay. So now we have a shorter version of the original sentences or original paragraph. Okay, so what say you right now? What do you feel? Okay, if you have any questions, okay, you are free to ask me. You are free to ask questions during this session. We still have time. We still have 15 minutes to go. Okay, So we are going to have another exercise after this. Okay. And I'm still waiting for questions because throughout the session we'll be responding to your questions. No problem. Okay. So hi everyone. For those who just come in. Okay. So we are towards the end of our session. So now let's move on to our second exercise or second practice for today. Remember earlier that we are doing our identifying important points, and then we're also doing omitting support, unnecessary details. For example, if there are example, description, and repetitions, we are going to omit those words or those sentences from the text. So now we're going to do the second exercise or second practice. So I'm going to read to you. My grandfather loves gardening. He has green fingers. He grows green vegetables, tomatoes, brinjals, cucumbers, and many other vegetables around his house. So in this short paragraph, we can see there are three sentences. The first sentence is my grandfather loves gardening. He has green fingers. He grows green vegetables, tomatoes, brinjals, cucumbers, and many other vegetables around his house. Okay, so perhaps I can give you 1 or 2 minutes to read, or maybe try to summarize this paragraph. Remember that examples, um, remember the important points, focus on the topic. So the topic focuses on gardening. Supporting details, we are going to accept relevant ones, the relevant details, and unnecessary details we are going to omit those unnecessary details out from the paragraph. So unnecessary details includes examples, descriptions, and repetitions. So perhaps you can type out the answer for this summary. Maybe you have some ideas. Maybe you want to give a try how to summarize this short paragraph. Okay, so let's take a look. So the first sentence is my grandfather loves gardening. So you have my grandfather loves gardening. So that's the first sentence, or the first important point. So we are not going to omit anything from this sentence. My grandfather loves gardening. If you take out the word loves, then the sentence doesn't stand. My grandfather gardening. The sentence doesn't stand. If you omit out the word gardening, so it's going to be my grandfather loves what? So the sentence is not complete. So you cannot omit anything from the first sentence. He has green fingers. The second sentence. He grows green vegetables, tomatoes, brinjals, cucumbers, and many other vegetables around his house. So the second sentence is he has green fingers. What can you say about? Okay, wonderful. We are getting responses. Okay. So my grandfather loves gardening. So the second part actually is just the description of the grandfather who loves gardening. Okay. My grandfather loves gardening. He has green fingers. Green fingers. I changed to purple in color because that actually represents love toward gardening. Okay. It doesn't mean that the grandfather has green fingers. It literally means the grandfather loves gardening. Okay. The next part of this paragraph, you can see that he grows green vegetables, tomatoes, brinjals, cucumbers, and many other vegetables around his house. I highlighted this as in green color and label as example, so they can see that all those words in green are examples. So remember, examples are unnecessary details. And unnecessary details we can either omit those unnecessary details out or straight away categorize them. For example, all of these words in green are vegetables. So we can categorize them under the word vegetables. Okay. So my grandfather loved gardening. He has green fingers. He grows many vegetables around his house. We still have that purple color sentence. So my grandfather loves gardening. He grows many vegetables around his house. So we omit that second sentence. Okay. My grandfather loves gardening. He has green fingers. We take that he has green fingers out. So now we go down to only 11 words. My grandfather loves gardening. He grows many vegetables around his house. So big round of applause to those who have answered this exercise 1 and 2 just now. So congratulations, you have successfully covered this lesson, the introductory of summary writing. Okay, we are going to continue our second part. Okay, based on our session availability. Okay, and we are also looking forward for some responses. If you feel that you want to learn about something else, not about summary writing, you want to learn about other writing skills, we can help you out. But for the time being, we are going to cover summary writing skills. Okay. For this week, we are focusing on the basic one, the basic steps of how to summarize. Okay, maybe next week you're going to look into other aspects of summary writing, maybe based on books that you have read, or maybe based on movies that you have recently watched. So we are going to help you out, okay, during this stay-at-home period. If we are going to just focus on your syllabus, okay, so there are your teachers as well are also teaching or covering the syllabus. So over here I'll be helping you with other sections or other segments in your learning English, because English is not a language, or it's not only a subject taught in school, it's also a language, means that you are going to use this language, you're going to use this knowledge when you go out, whenever you are, when you meet foreigners, when you meet expat, and so on, when you meet your English teachers or English teachers from other states, other countries, you are going to use this knowledge. You are going to use English language. Okay. So to to sum up, I'll be going back to our the benefits. I'm going to recap what are the benefits of summary writing. So summary writing, as I mentioned earlier, it helps readers identify the important points in the text and help readers ignore irrelevant information. So just now, all of us are able to identify important points in the text, and also we are able to ignore irrelevant information. Okay. So moving on, maybe in the next few weeks, we are going to look, I mean, next few days, we are going to integrate the central ideas in a meaningful way. How to use all this information, how we are going to use this parts that we have summarized, and make sure when we write this summary in paragraph, it does make sense. It has connections. It is related with the previous sentences and so on. We are going to use sequence connectors and other connectors to make sure that our summary is good to be read. And finally, at the end of our session, we are going to make sure that all of us, because we are all readers, we know how to take a large selection of text and reduce it. The key here is large selection, and then we are able to reduce it to the main points. How to reduce it to the main points? By ignoring irrelevant information and by identifying the important points in the text. Okay, and once we are able to summarize, later we are going to understand better the text, especially in your examination when you want to summarize your text. You have to read and you have to understand, then you are able to summarize it. Okay, but for the purpose of this 1 or 2 week session, we are going to focus on the basic summary skills before jumping into the SPM format or the examination format for summary writing. Okay, so I'm still waiting for questions. If you have any questions, or we can just wrap the session up after this. Okay, so we're going to, I guess we are going to have our, we're going to wrap up our session. Okay, it's a wonderful session for today. Thank you for your participation. We are going to have this session again next week, or maybe in other time. Okay, thank you very much for participating in this session. um, do send messages or send emails if you want some new inputs to be shared next week. Okay, so we just want to make sure that everybody, okay, whether you are teachers or your students over here, if you want to ask question or you want to suggest what session, what kind of input to be shared in the next session, kindly inform us. Okay, you have my you can send Facebook messenger, you can send through IG, or you can send email, so that we can do this sharing session over and over again, and we can make this session more entertaining. Okay, for this week, I haven't shared any quizzes and so on. I just want to see how many people participating in this session. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Cikgu Adila. Giving the mic back to you, I guess.
Okey, okey, itu tadi perkongsian daripada Cikgu Hazwan. Terima kasih banyak Cikgu Hazwan. So, saya ada satu kot ni, soalan ni soalan.
Ya.
Okey, Cikgu tengok kat di screen.
Ya. Kat screen-nya.
In summary, can you change a word into a different one but same meaning?
Okay, thank you. That's a good question. So the question asks about whether we can change the word, okay, into another word. Okay, as long as it doesn't change the meaning, yes, you may. Okay, you may change the word, but make sure that your word has the same degree with the word that you are going to change. Okay, for example, if the sentence says, if the sentence, I'm giving you a simple example. If the sentence in the paragraph say, he moves from one place to another, and you decided to change the word moves, M-O-V-E-S, into walks, W-A-L-K-S, those two words have different degree. Okay, because moves can range from run, walk, fly. So if you are changing the word moves into walks, you are suggesting, you are giving your personal opinion to the text. Okay, remember, we cannot give personal opinion. We have to follow what the text say. So the question is yes. For the question, yes, you may, but to be on the safe side, try to make sure you use the words from the text. Okay, so this is for our first part. Later, when we go deeper into SPM format question, you can see why I say we cannot change this word because of different degree of word. Okay, different level of word, because it as if you are suggesting what the person is doing. In the tag, it doesn't say like that. Okay, so that's I hope it answers your question.
Okey. Yes, saya harap jawapan itu tadi telah menjawab persoalan daripada siapa tadi? It's Hana the Craftier. Oh, apa nama ni? Okey, dia pun dah respon. Oh, thank you. Alright, okay. So masa pun dah ada 1 minit lagi. Okay. Alright. Okay, ramai kenal Mr. Hazwan ni ya.
Ramai ke? Oh,
Ada tu.
okay.
Ada tu apa, hello Pooh. Help on the continuous writing in SPM.
Oh, continuous writing, good. So if you say that you want us to help you in continuous writing, yes, we are going to focus on continuous writing in other session, inshallah. Okay, good.
Okay, next session lah.
Next session. Tak sempat ni.
Okay. Okay, so masa pun dah habis ya. Okay, saya wakil daripada tim Edidik Negeri Perak dan Edidik Malaysia mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada Cikgu Hazwan bin Hamdan atas perkongsian pada pagi ini. Begitu juga kepada para pelajar sekalian yang sudi meluangkan masa, ada yang teacher suruh lah, ada yang duduk ni. Bagaimanapun saya pasti semua orang dapat manfaatnya, dapat belajar daripada Cikgu Hazwan tadi. Baik, sehingga kita berjumpa lagi pada sesi live classroom at Edidik yang seterusnya. Okay, sehingga itu jaga diri, stay at home dan jangan lupa kepada mereka yang terlewat sikit menyertai sesi live classroom kita pada pagi ni, anda boleh tengok ulangan di YouTube ataupun di Facebook. Okay, so itu saja. Okay, terima kasih semua. Okay, hingga jumpa lagi. Bye.